Horizon Zero Dawn. I played that game and the sequel without health bars because
that'd be a good way to play. I'm sure you did too.
Oh yeah, I did that because you told me to do it. Play it on very hard. I think I did play with health bars though, but I at least did play on the difficulty.
But when you got them like that giant T-Rex, when it's almost dead, it starts to Thunderjaw. Once it's really low, it starts to limp, and you're like, "Oh, I almost got him," and then you just finish it off.
That's cool. I didn't know that game did that.
I played without a reticle, without health bars, and on very hard mode.
Without a controller, without a monitor.
I played it with my
sound only,
without
voice
activity in my house,
with a Guitar Hero controller. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I am joined by two individuals. Here's Mr. Ben, and for the first time ever, my big brother Mitch.
Hello everyone. Hello.
This is Big Brother Mitch.
Hi Mitch.
Hi.
Ben.
Nice to meet you. We are gathered here today to specifically talk about one topic, which is our most hype E3 or video game reveal moments specifically. And I personally kind of had some trouble narrowing down some stuff. I didn't have anything immediately that jumped out at me, to be honest. There was one, which we'll talk about,
yes.
That we both didn't even need to say it, but we knew that we wanted to talk about, which we will talk about. But we each brought a couple. We did not talk about it, so we don't know what everybody has today.
We could do 3 or 4 episodes if everyone does 2 each time. Bring different people on. Everybody's got a different game. Because if you brought Graham, it'd be probably totally different than something I would have. Destiny 2, The Taken King. My most hyped reveal.
Yeah. Well, apparently people like The Last Shape or whatever. Like that was the final thing.
My tattoo artist really liked The Last Shape, I guess. While he's tattooing me, I'm like, that's crazy, man. You missed a spot.
Usually when I have people on, my question is like, how did gaming start for you? And like early memories of like gaming, how did you get into it? And why are you still doing it? Why are you a gamer TM? And me, I know, I guess most of this, but I will ask you anyway. Mm-hmm. So what is your gaming history?
We've been gaming forever, and it's always been a big part of our not livelihood, but our lives.
Is that because we're incels?
No. Getting into video games helped me create a lot of friends, like, and especially before the internet. Like, I remember one thing where I was playing Lego Island 2, and there was a jousting section. And in the jousting section, I didn't know what to do because I'm just a little dumb kid, and it's like 4th grade or whatever. And I'm talking with, random people like, I'm playing this. I don't know you, but I'm just telling you about my video games.
Lego Island.
Yeah,
and
I know.
So in the island, you joust, and I
was like, I can't beat it. What do I do? And then the guy's like, well, you probably got to press the button that pops up on the screen. So I was like, oh, and then you go back home, and then I told my brothers, you got to press this button. Then we figured it out. Then I go back to school, talk more about video games, this, that, and the other.
That's something that kids nowadays probably miss out on because it's just like, it goes without saying. Like, they're not like, like they already watched Clavicular stream Minecraft for 20
Clavicular?
Wow. So, but no, like our older brother, Brandon, was telling us something nice because we were down here the other day and he doesn't play games really anymore at all, but he still has ancient old school gamer knowledge, which is very fun to unearth and like make him like, play games and be like, oh, I know what I'm doing. So we were playing Ape Escape, which is a game that we grew up with a lot of PS1 classic titles we grew up with. And he was like, well, I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, but and we thought it was going to be like a big story, which it wasn't at all. But basically what he was trying to say is that he would talk to his friends at school about Ape Escape. And that was pretty much the extent of the story. But to him, when he was bringing it up, it was like an actual, like, I actually did this thing. So point being is that like that playground discussion of talking about games and like talking about Pokemon and talking about how Mew is hidden underneath the truck in Pokemon Red and Blue, which it's not, but like word of mouth stuff like that. Kids these days don't get it.
No, they're all playing Roblox.
Right, with Clavicular.
Well, it doesn't exist anymore because you have that connection like on like Discord or whatever. You can talk with your friends all the time. Whereas
you're always
you would
connected.
go on the weekends and then you discover all this crazy stuff in this game. Then you come back to school.
Yeah.
You say, did you see this? Did you see that? And then you have a conversation there. But when you're constantly connected, and then you're in person, you're just at school and
it goes without saying.
You have nothing to talk about.
I almost feel like when you're a kid too, like not everyone bought the new games when they came out.
Yes.
So you would, I'd have a game that you've never even heard of.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I remember someone in grade school had Diablo 2
On PC.
Yeah. And I had a PS2, so I'm like, Dad, can we go get Diablo 2? And that doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
So he's telling me stories and secrets to this game that I'll never even play back then.
Right.
So
but to you, it's like, oh my
it's this
gosh.
mythical idea of what even is that game that
sounds like
sounds so cool.
Yeah.
You create a game better than the actual game itself.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, I got to play that eventually. Or just certain things don't exist anymore.
I think the closest thing, which I don't think we've ever mentioned on this show, is the closest thing we got to that for at least our circle was when Breath of the Wild came out.
Where
100%.
everybody was playing it.
Yep,
and
everybody's playing it. So then you're like,
yeah.
yo, so I went, because there's no easy way to describe what you're doing or where you're going. Like I was at this one place or whatever, if you're just in the middle of nowhere. So we would say, I went in the desert and I did this thing where like I did this and then this thing came out, or I fought this giant thing that came out of the ground, or I was in the forest and then there was this one little hidden puzzle and a chest popped up and I fought this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And
like, I
just,
want to go do that too.
Yes.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah.
It probably was Breath of the Wild, the last one for us then.
Yes, 100%. And we were talking about it in a way like, okay, wait, where on the map was it? And we at least had our switches so we could be like, I think it was like about here. Like I went this way and I was here. So that type of, it's weird. Like we have more community in games nowadays, technically, because we're so connected and stuff, but it's almost less personal because of how connected it is. It's like, you don't need, like, I try to tell myself to not text people immediately when an idea comes to my mind, to be like, text you like, oh, this thing happened to me, like to at least save some stuff so we can talk in person about something. Like when I see you in person, it's like, oh, I already know what you did, or I already know that you played Pragmata and you really like it. Like
I did.
We don't need to talk about it. Whereas I could not saying that you did anything wrong, but like we do miss out on that interaction where it's like, dude, I played this game where you're like a guy who's this little robot chick and like you do.
I didn't tell you what you do. I just said you like. I like it.
That's true. That is true.
So I have a lot to say.
But
we'll do the Pragmata episode next time.
when I was playing Requiem, I felt so bad because I was just like texting little blurbs of like this thing here and this thing there. Like I was like being a critic as I was playing it.
Live raging.
And, yeah, live
By
raging.
the way, we have the third hater of Resident Evil Requiem in the room.
On planet
three
Earth.
of three have combined.
Listen, the beginning is phenomenal. It's great. It's a phenomenal survival horror. But
Leon's so cool.
Listen,
Did
it's
you see-
it's
so
amazing.
sexy,
See
though.
his butt?
I digress,
I
but
did.
the beginning is phenomenal. I love the entire mental hospital is great. Everything after that, I think, is dookie. It's not what the other previous titles have given to us and the quality that they've given to us. That's what I'll say about it. So,
But the internet, they didn't say that. They said it's the best thing that's ever been made.
Okay, well, shall we talk about what we're supposed to
Yeah,
talk
let's talk about some reveals. Who's going to start? Should Mitch start since he's first on the show?
That's a great idea.
it is probably my number one. This is going to be a masterpiece. There's nobody can tell me otherwise. It's going to be perfect. I can't believe there's another one. This is amazing. And it is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. You know, I thought Metal Gear Solid 4 was where it was the ending.
It was.
Kojima said, I'm done. I'm not making another one. And Konami said, you are. My favorite E3 is The Phantom Pain. And I was just, I need to buy this. I need to buy this. Every version of it. I need to get it. And it is the lowest rated Metal Gear Solid game I have.
Lower than Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes is a curated, small, like area that tells a very easy to follow beginning, middle, and end story and gives you the gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 5. and it's tight. There's things to like sneak around. There's alternate entrances. And curious enough, it's Metal Gear Solid 5 is an open world game, but this isn't. The Zero's is tight. It's one level. It's exactly like a Metal Gear Solid game should be, just upgraded. And they made me think, oh, it's going to be very curated like this. And then you find out it's open world, and this new game is so open you can go anywhere. You're riding on your horse for minutes where you see nothing. Oh, there's an outpost. Let me stand outside the outpost and snipe everybody.
So, but Ground Zeroes was like, you can beat it in 3.5 minutes and it costs $40.
Okay, that is fair. The cost of that is ridiculous, but that experience was a better experience. Because I know how many times I only remember the horse. If I envision me playing Metal Gear Solid 5, it's open areas, horse, and then me looking at an outpost from far away. That's it.
I remember sitting in the car with Skullface in the Jeep for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they tried to do the ladder scene from MGS3. It's the Xbox show, and that's where they're showing all the tech of the game. But at that point, my only experience with Metal Gear Solid was just watching you playing them growing up. And you being like, and me just because you're better at video games than I am. So just watching you play them and being so like tactical, and I'm just like, I don't even know. I'm so stupid. I don't even know what's happening. And you are playing MGS4 and you're like, I have no idea what's happening. So we were both on the same boat.
That's kind of the experience of playing Metal Gear Solid 4, though.
But at the very least, watching you play those games. So you being excited helped me be excited in 2014 or whenever they revealed the actual gameplay of the game. But yeah, the promise of the trailer is deceptive on purpose. Like in the end of the trailer, it shows Snake, and he points a gun at the diamond kids, the kids with diamonds in their hands for the blood diamonds.
Yeah.
And then he kills them. And then it's the music's so cool, and then it's like Phantom Pain. We're like, oh my gosh, Snake is so evil, and oh my god. But then in the game, you learned that he didn't actually. He shot the lock, and he
shot the lock, and it's not actually him, and it was not.
It was you the whole
time, and that's such a dumb story, in my opinion.
What? Oh well, the story's stupid, but I love the Metal Gear. I love the Metal Gear 1 and 2 tie-ins where it's two snakes. I love that.
Yeah,
the whole game exists to make Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 make sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
it bridges the gap.
I put it as my number one because I was super excited, but also I despise this game. I would want to replay it. I would, if I could remake it, I would remove all this open world junk and just have missions that you would go on. Attack an outpost, and then boom, it puts you in
kind of is
outpost.
that.
The game gave you 51 missions. Is that not enough for you?
Yeah, 51 missions that you got to ride to, and it's a part of the experience.
Well, you have
25 of them are
where
repeats.
I want to.
Yes.
Right. You know where I want to ride a horse? Afghanistan. That's such a wonderful. You can look at all the dirt and the rocks and the
cacti.
sand.
That's why you're the boss.
I don't know. I was very disappointed with the game. I haven't replayed it since, but I'm looking forward to playing it again to see if I actually don't like it or I'm right.
I'll always think it's a great game, not a good Metal Gear game. It's a fantastic video game.
Yes. It is a great open world.
Plays well, but
open world.
Story's bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. It's a fun game to play.
Yes.
If you go in not looking for the Kojima Metal Gear experience.
Yes, it is. It is a bad.
Or you should just go play Death Stranding, which is very much the Metal Gear experience of nonsensical nonsense.
That was close to being one of my reveals until
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, right after the fallout with Konami and PT and Daryl.
That's
Dixon.
A really good one.
Anyway, let's talk about the Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer.
Yes, Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer.
I absolutely love this reveal. I love this trailer. It got me excited, and I too was like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the best game of all time. So, and I'm kind of a poser, but I hadn't played any Metal Gear Solid game until after this trailer came out, because I played all of them in preparation for this game's release. Because I'd watched Mitchell play them, and I couldn't even tell them apart at that point for me, just because I just watched you play them, so I didn't know. So I ended up playing all of them, and it's probably the best series of games ever made in my opinion. But with varying degrees of quality as they went on. But yeah, this trailer just promises so much. And at the time in 2015, the weather and the time of day and the clock and the AI with enemies and all that stuff was so advanced. And to this day,
it
is
still
kind of
holds
unmatched.
up.
Yeah, is kind of unmatched in terms of gameplay and stealth mechanics. Is still probably the best in the genre as far as gameplay is concerned.
All right, who's next, me or you?
You can go.
So I don't know what the year is right now, to be honest.
You want to look at the list?
No, because this was not an E3 reveal.
Okay.
Oh.
This came out on YouTube one day, and when I saw the title of this video, I probably yelped in joy and clicked on it and started watching it. So I had played the previous 2 games in this franchise, and as soon as the trailer begins, you think, here we are again. We're in Rapture, because it's in a fish tank, and you get to see the city of Rapture once again. And then as soon as the light turns on, you find out it is completely different from anything they had done before.
That is an excellent trailer. You know, friend of the show, Graham, and I were also extremely excited because this was like junior year or sophomore or senior
It was
year of high
I
school
mean,
for
the
us.
answer's out there, but it was probably like 2011.
Very awesome trailer and promises quite a bit.
See, the thing that's so interesting about this trailer is it sets your expectations right away because they don't hide anything. It's Irrational Games who made BioShock 1, so you go in being like, okay, this is going to be BioShock again. They show what you think is Rapture, and then they pull you out to this, literally pull you out, and they step on the Big Daddy figurine to be like, that is done. We're doing something completely different. Could not be more opposite. Instead of under the ocean, it's in the sky. There's so, if you go like frame by frame when you're holding onto that blimp, there's so much imagery of what that game is trying to show, of like American elitism, of all the topics and like things they were trying to cover with BioShock Infinite. And they set the scene so well for what that game was supposed to be. Yeah, everything is there for a reason, and it is done so well, and I was so excited. And it's not like you where Metal Gear Solid 5 is one of your least favorite things ever. I still like BioShock Infinite, but it's such a far cry from what that trailer implied that it could have been.
Because I remember the theories went crazy on this, where we would have the discussions about who's connected where, and this is actually Booker, and Booker is actually this person from BioShock, and it's a different universe.
Yeah, the way that although
I hate the end of that game.
To get into
Really?
the big disappointment of what BioShock Infinite is funny enough, your praise for it, which is, there's an infinite amount of universes. So whenever an intellectual property does that, to me, that means nothing matters anymore.
Nothing means anything.
Yeah.
So we're just watching one version of it, and there's a million others, so nothing matters. Where it makes what happened in BioShock 1 is just one version where Elizabeth went back in time to stop the final book. I'm telling you, the final Booker duet. Because at the end of BioShock Infinite, spoiler alert, when you choose to do the baptism, it kills off all of the versions of Booker that turn into Comstock. So instead of him finding God and going and making Columbia, he goes a different path. So once she does the baptism, it cancels out every version of that universe. But one doesn't die, and that becomes the one that's in Rapture. So that's what that whole story is.
Wait, so who is the one in Rapture?
It's Booker DeWitt, but it's just a different version universe of him.
What is he doing in Rapture?
Who knows?
Was he doing something bad? Does it matter?
He's looking for a little sister. I swear to God. He's there looking for a little sister.
He's the DLC man.
And then, basically. But he dies at the end of the first episode of Burial at Sea. And then Burial at Sea episode 2, you play as Elizabeth.
With plasmids.
Yeah.
I know what we're talking about now.
But with the trailer for BioShock Infinite, it really takes it in such, like we talked about with friends playing games when you were a kid that you never got to play. It evokes so much wonder and so much potential for what that could be. And there's stuff in there, even like Elizabeth saving you with telekinesis. Nothing like that happens in BioShock Infinite. They even had ideas there where like the handyman, which is what throws you out the window.
Yes.
They really pushed that was going to be a Big Daddy kind of successor where you only fight them in a couple scripted sections where that kind of implies that it's going to be a overarching nemesis that you're coming across, which is not. It's just a mini boss that you get to fight a couple times.
But she does throw you coins and ammo, right?
She does. She throws you Eve or whatever they call it.
You always catch it in one thing. I find that so annoying when you just,
oh yeah.
It's like you're in the middle of a battle. What was it? A coin?
Thanks, Elizabeth. It's me, Troy Baker.
Thank you. There is an incredible gameplay trailer that came out probably a couple months after that reveal trailer, where you're going through the sky on the skyhook. There's a guy who's like trying to sell you on American elitism and he's like a part of a crow thing that comes to life, and you fly over into this like bar that has people hanging out and drinking, and like they start getting mad at you because they start to realize that you're the false shepherd. And it culminates
like
on
Mass
this
Effect?
Yes.
Okay.
And it culminates on a bridge where you're fighting a handyman, where Elizabeth like creates this ball of power that you use telekinesis to throw it at. None of which exists in the game, by the way. BioShock, I feel like the first 3 years of that game existing is a total lie of the marketing.
You know what it probably is just Ken Levine being like, you know what, this is what the game is now. Well, no, this is the game.
There are reports of that for working for him, and I think he has said as well in interviews, like, I'm such a perfectionist that I find myself scrapping so much that gets so much work put into it. That's why Rod Ferguson, who of Gears of War fame and Blizzard fame as well, had to go in and finish BioShock Infinite.
Yeah,
because Ken Levine just could not do it because
he
wouldn't. He was going for perfection so much that he just kept writing himself into a corner and not being able to create anything.
Do you feel like a franchise should just stop? Like BioShock or Metal Gear Solid, for example, just should be like, done.
Yeah, I mean, with BioShock, there's nothing more to tell. Like, you can still make that style of game. Like, the reason why people like BioShock, a lot of it is because Rapture is freaking cool. And that setting is awesome. And the whole thing of, pro independence and capitalism and all this stuff that it tries to tell, which is awesome. And
then it all comes on itself and fails.
Like, that is what everybody loves about that. And we've talked about this, I think, here before, but what the creators love about their creations might not be what the people love. Like, that's the death of the author, right? That's where, the author was trying to say this, but like what people are getting out of it is totally different. So Ken Levine might be like, a BioShock, this is what BioShock is, but that's not what BioShock is to everybody else. So we just want BioShock 4 in Under the Sea, and that's what they're going to end up doing.
There have been so many leaks of it taking place in like Antarctica and things like that, trying to just do another crazy different
where people went crazy in a secluded place.
I feel like with specifically BioShock, that is a franchise that doesn't need to continue, because we've seen there's not much more in Rapture we can see. I feel like we've seen everything. With BioShock 1, you see all the main areas. BioShock 2 goes more to the slums. Infinite lets you go back to some environments you've been in, and then some other stuff that's not really that interesting. I don't really care for Burial at Sea, personally. It's like, what else could we see in Rapture? And if it's not going to be in Rapture, it doesn't have to be a BioShock game, which is what Infinite tried to do, and it succeeds in like its core ideas. I just don't think it's that fun of a game, and I think the story falls flat at the end. It doesn't have to be BioShock to have that very minimal RPG feel to it of building your character with different plasmids or whatever they would choose to use.
Superpowers.
It doesn't just have to be, they don't have to use the BioShock name to come up with a cool game. New IPs are cool.
One I'm going to do is one that when I pitched this idea to Ben, both just kind of looked at each other like this.
Right?
With one that we're going to talk about. And we've talked, I think we've specifically...
We have told this story.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell this story, but I'm going to set the stage as for what this is. So this is 2016, 2 years after PT kind of fizzled away. Hype for that was astronomical, and just disappeared. First person spooky horror game like that from an auteur. So an E3 is happening. It's Sony's press conference. They're just like, here's the next thing. And it's a first person horror game. Person wakes up on the floor in first person and gets up. And we're all just like, PT lives. It's PT again. And they go through the trailer and it's a spooky horror game. But at the very end, they reveal very smartly Resident Evil 7, which took everybody by surprise. They give the release date, which is just a few months away. Then after that, they say demo available today. So it was like bam, bam, bam.
Thank you, man.
Get on the floor and jam. RE7 at that time was a huge deal because we knew what a Resident Evil game looked like up until that point. And Resident Evil had been pretty stinky for a while. Like, it was no longer a premier video game series.
Yeah, at that time it was like, well, Revelations is okay, I guess. That's the best new one.
It's just kind of an embarrassing thing. So, Capcom, you got to give them all the credit in the world. Like, their 2017 saved the company. And RE7 saved the series. Simply.
Absolutely.
And
that was around
it
when Monster Hunter came out too, right?
Monster Hunter World and RE7. And I think there's another one. I know DMC 5 came out in 2019.
When did Street Fighter 5 come out? That was around that time too.
Yeah, let's find out.
Because that was like, Street Fighter was so dead at that point. I know in the fighting game community, a lot of people don't like Street Fighter 5, but financially that saved the franchise too.
Street Fighter 5 was 2016. So it was already out at that point.
Okay.
And shortly after them releasing RE7, they came out with RE2 Remake. So 7 didn't even sell that spectacularly compared to like Requiem right now. I think 7 is one of the worst selling ones, to be honest.
It has caught up over time. Like, if you look at a sales chart, it's in the top 5, I believe, of Resident Evil. But near the bottom, but
it restored not only Capcom's credibility, but Resident Evil's credibility as like a premier franchise. And now they're like, I think, top 3 most like, as far as single player experience video games, they're in the top 3 that everybody is looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so 7's reveal is an all-timer for sure.
I remember how nuts Ryan went during the demo. We found the finger. We don't know what the finger does yet.
And it does nothing.
Everybody's trying to figure out what the finger does.
It does something at the end.
Yeah.
Which apparently they added because of the hype around it.
Because it didn't do anything, didn't it?
It's in the collector's edition too, physically.
Right.
It's
but no,
USB drive.
in the first, until the last version of the demo, it did nothing. So it's just a red herring. And we were
pointed at things.
Yes, and we're like, do we point it at ourselves? And I remember us experimenting, like pointed at things, and that's what people on the internet like pointed at something maybe. And because again, this must be restated that this was riding the coattails of PT, and that's something that's going to be forgotten in years. But like, because of the mystique and mystery of PT, people were willing to try weird things with the demo for that game. Be like, what does this mean? What does this do? And like uncovering the secrets. And in retrospect, there really weren't that many secrets in the demo, but all-time demo too. Just one of the best. But yeah, one of the coolest reveals, it being Resident Evil, first of all, in first person. First one to ever do it.
Nope. Survivor.
Well, shut up. Super. I bet you were waiting for me to say that.
Yep, I was ready.
Super surprising to see that be Resident Evil. So one of the best reveals of all time. But here is my other one, and I want to do these back to back because this one's probably going to be short because I'm going to be the only one that has anything to say about this. All of my picks are reveals that I visited again in the past. Like throughout my life, I've revisited reaction videos of these things. Like I've rewatched the reaction to the RE7 reveal because I just love hearing the audience cheer, and like the Final Fantasy VII remake reveal when they show that and the crowd is like, what is this? So one that I visit all the time is the Everyone Is Here reveal trailer for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The Everyone Is Here, what I'm referring to is that this game has every single character that has ever been in a Smash Bros. Game. We knew that the game existed at this point, so this is not the reveal of the game, but like everybody knew a Smash Brothers game was coming out. We just didn't know what it looked like, really. So this is the first trailer where they showed that everybody is in there, because the whole thing with Smash and like Smash Wii U is that there were like DLC fighters, and it's like, who's going to be in the game next? And they had like the Smash poll and whatever. And this trailer showed that everybody is in it. The big thing for this was showing that Snake was back, because he hadn't been in the game since the Brawl era.
I got goosebumps watching
So
that.
I just love going to that. And Super Smash Brothers for a lot of people is like a very personal thing too, and most of us grew up playing it. So just seeing like those revisiting characters that hadn't been in game, some of them since 2001 for a game that's coming out in 2018, is just so exciting and so awesome. And I revisit that video a lot just because it makes me happy seeing people get so excited for stuff.
Yeah, that's what's so fun with those live reaction videos, is you can feel the excitement, whether the game lived up to it or not. You can feel like everybody's so hyped.
Right, and it makes you feel like a community. Like it's a communal thing where like everybody, like if like the E3 crowds, when they cheer for something, like you're all like one being at that point, and you're all just like happy about a video game that's coming out.
That you have to buy.
Yes. I obviously didn't watch those people's reactions at the time. I was watching it live myself, but I can promise you that my reaction was the same as those people in that room, which was, yeah. Mitch, shall we go to your number 2?
Sure. It's 2015, and we haven't really had any versions of these games in a little while. I played the original one.
I remember that came out like a year after the release of Bloodborne, and Bloodborne being one of my favorite games I've ever played at the time and to this day. I was more willing to jump into that because it's being From Software. I'm like, okay, then maybe I'll like this one. And Dark Souls 3 especially has a lot more Bloodborne-y feel to it. Like it's exactly the same engine.
The lighting is the exact
Yeah.
same.
So it feels like you can play it
Mostly.
like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So that's why I love Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Where
and-
most people don't, who
Yeah.
are into the franchise.
Well, yeah, once again, I was a poser, and I played Bloodborne. Bloodborne was my first Souls game too, and I played that reluctantly when it had come out, because at that point I was still like, yeah, I don't want to play tough game, it's too hard, and yeah, I don't want to do that. But Mitch, I'm sure you can mention, I had watched you play Dark Souls games forever up until that point.
The first game I played was Demon Souls, and it was at my buddy's Brian's house in his basement, and I had no idea what I was doing. I go through the main area, I unlock a bunch of shortcuts, I kill the
Phalanx?
kill that, and then I make it to the Iron Golem, and I have not leveled up yet at all. So I bought 500 arrows, and I stood up there on the wall, and then just shot arrows until the Iron Golem died. I was like, this is a hard game. This is crazy. And then I figured out that I could level up that day, and I was like, oh no.
See, you have the same mentality that Shuhei Yoshida had when he first played that. Do you know about that story?
No.
Shuhei Yoshida got a preview of Demon Souls, and he said, this game is bad, objectively. And he's since said like that was one of the worst calls that I ever made or something like that. Since he's left PlayStation, he's like revealed a bunch of stuff, but he played that, and obviously since then Dark Souls and all that stuff has blown up. So he's like, that was one of the worst calls I ever made, because he almost, because he was part of, he was the head of Japan Studio, who I think was involved in the production of that game. So yeah, bad call by Shuhei.
He could have shut down everything.
I think
We'd
he was
be
very
playing
close
Shadow
to
Tower 4 right now if it weren't for him.
Yeah, man.
I played Demon Souls, and then I think I played Dark Souls 2, then 1, then 3. So I got to, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, that'll be exciting.
My favorite thing that I have a clip of, but we don't have our mics on, and this is the joy of Dark Souls games. They try to take themselves so seriously, but we can't help ourselves but just make them silly, which is you and I both both used a spell thing to turn into an object. I forgot what it's called. But we both turned into an object of just like a little statue guy in the Pontiff Sullivan area in Anne Orlando, and we tried to get from like the start of the level to the end of the level, and we're just slowly moving as statues trying to avoid enemies. That is when I think of Dark Souls 3, that's what I think of. But yeah, that's an awesome reveal. Any more to say on Dark Souls 3?
I think Dark Souls 2 is better.
I agree.
I disagree.
That is a very hot take
I agree.
because Dark Souls 3 does a lot of things right and does them well. But Dark Souls 2, the amount of customization, the amount of weapons is so overwhelming that I feel like it has more pathways to a build that's just wacky or cool. And then you can also upgrade your armor, which you cannot do in the third one. And upgrading your armor so you can look cool and at least have better defense is something that should be in every Dark Souls game. Because I want to look like a pauper and wear like a bunch of tattered clothing and look funny and use whips. But also, I don't like 10 defense. Put it to plus 10 and it gives me like base 1 of Havel set, you know? Like that's more fair. But Dark Souls 3, you look like a clown with all the different things that you're putting on all the time and can't really optimize.
Like Bloodborne, like everybody ended up wearing the Canehurst set by the end of the game.
Exactly.
Because it's light and strong. I think it is the Havel
It's objectively
set
the
of
best armor in the game. Okay. So, what we are going to talk about is the most hyped I've ever been in my life for just about anything. It is 2015. Again,
all around.
2015 was a hyped year. This potentially could be the best conference of all time. Maybe not for the results of what came out, but for the hype.
I think I know where this one's going.
So, Microsoft had theirs. Sony had theirs. Ubisoft, Nintendo. Everybody did their thing. But then,
a scrappy little company.
For some reason, one final company, Bethesda, decided to join in on the big conference idea. And they came out and announced Fallout 4.
And in the world of entertainment, there are very few things as good as Fallout.
It's good to be back.
It's an entire presentation of the game. They go in depth with the reveal of this game. And I watched it at my old pal Brandon's house because we were very excited for Fallout 4. He even made a Twitter specifically for Fallout 4 to be able to tweet at Bethesda. They show the graphics that are significantly improved because Bethesda always made stuff look like garbage, basically. Except Skyrim at the time looked good, but like Fallout 3 looks terrible.
Was it still on Creation Engine?
It's
3?
all on Creation Engine, whatever.
Yeah, but like Creation Engine 3, I think.
I think this was a step up from everything they had done
Creation
before.
Engine 3.5.
Yeah, because this was their first at the time next gen game because Skyrim was the last thing they did. So 4 years later, they're coming out, and there were like fan sites looking at everything Todd Howard ever said to be like, he said 4 words this day on Twitter. Is that Fallout 4 revealed? There was a fake website made by some guy. I think it was called The Lone Survivor 37 or something, where he made this fake countdown and like had all these like Morse code audio things.
All those
that were
fake.
playing. Yes. Wow. He had that's something. If you want a rabbit hole to go down, that is an interesting one. Fallout 4 Lone Survivor website, where it's all these teasers that are like people are putting all this stuff together that is Fallout 4, and then the countdown ends and it's just nothing. And the guy's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't think it would turn into this massive thing."
That's awesome.
And he did like a AMA at the end, like, "Hey, I'm the guy who made the Lone Survivor. Ask me anything." And everyone's like, "Why did you do this to me?" They showed off the gunplay, which looks significantly better than Fallout 3 because horrible. And New Vegas is a little bit better with the gunplay, but this game looked like an actual video game of a first-person shooter. The art style was amazing, but then they started showing off the things like the base building, which they really focused on during this reveal. Like, it was 30 minutes long. Probably 10 minutes of it was the base building, and I'm like, that's not really what I'm here for. They start hitting on there's an infinite amount of quests in this game. They start to become procedurally generated, which is the meme of Preston Garvey saying there's a settlement that needs your help or
Yeah.
whatever. Like that's infinite quests,
Yay.
which is not really, fun to do, and no one likes getting that call on your Pip-Boy. They showed you can play games on your Pip-Boy, like there's little like jumpy games and stuff, like 2D side scroller stuff.
I didn't know
that. There are, and they showed
that's amazing.
It's awesome. They showed the collector's edition, which was a wearable Pip-Boy you could put your iPhone 5GS into and download the Pip-Boy app that would link to your console, so you could pause the game on your Pip-Boy and change your loadout wearing your Pip-Boy, but you could use the app without it.
Yeah, with your sweaty,
that you're
gonna
wear for 100-hour playthrough. But I remember watching that in Brandon's basement, going on Amazon, frantically refreshing to be like, is it available for pre-order? The amount of hype for Fallout 4. And I think they announced like Doom 2016 and stuff at that conference too. Like that was one of the best E3s ever. With Fallout 4 specifically, like it's what everybody wanted. For Soul, except you, because you don't like Fallout.
Hey.
But
hello.
Which you should play New Vegas. I think you would like that one.
I will.
Just so much excitement of what could be. Skyrim was their last game, which I know for a lot of like purists was a step down, but it's objectively a great game. Mm-hmm. Fallout 3 is one of my favorite games ever made, and I do like New Vegas. But Fallout 4 was like the culmination of all this excitement of what could be, and it didn't really come out that great. And it's one of those things where as I was playing it, it was like...
You're trying to convince yourself
I want to like this game, but do I?
It's
Not
great.
really.
It's
See,
great.
when you talked about the base building, I spent probably a majority of that game base building. And I base built myself into I stopped playing the game because I spent so much time base building, and I'm like, oh, I should probably, go save my son. But I really enjoyed that game, but never finished it because the base building just...
It's one of the cool things about the earlier Fallout games, which Poser, I've not completed any of the ones before 3, but what's cool about those...
Most people haven't.
Right. But like watching videos and learning how those games work, is a lot of the choices you make in those games, it's a lot of gray area choices of like, there is no winning. There's no everybody's happy choice. It's a lot of like painful choices that you're going to lose no matter what you do. Where Fallout 4, at least in my opinion, has the good option, the bad option, and the evil option. So it's like, if you, at least in my opinion, if you go with the railroad, like that's the correct choice. Where Fallout 2 doesn't have a correct choice. Like no matter what you do, you're going to make someone unhappy and someone's going to die. Mm-hmm. Where modern RPGs, which I don't even know if I would go as far to say Fallout 4 is like a real RPG. It's more a first-person shooter with RPG mechanics. Yeah. Where Fallout 3 is more like, even that I kind of hesitate to say.
I would say Fallout 3 they have consequences.
Yes, Fallout 3, the story of that, yes, for sure. Like, Megaton is such a great intro of you can choose to be the good guy or you can be the evil guy, where, I mean, it is objectively good to just not blow the town up, but it lets you have fun and do it in a cool way, where Fallout 4 doesn't really do that as much. New Vegas is great at that, too, which has so many different endings and so many alliances you could do. Yeah,
that's nice when a game actually has... That's like... when a game gives you a yes or no option and the no just says, oh, come on, please.
Oh,
and then you just
Fallout 4 is the embodiment of that.
Or like, or the no option gives you the yes option. Like it's the same thing. Like there's the
Are you sure?
The illusion of choice. Fallout 4.
It's fine.
So are there any of these out of the ones that we've discussed that we actually, the hype lived up to the game itself?
Smash Ultimate.
Ultimate.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7. Yes.
And my last one.
She taught you to hunt, yes?
Yes, sir.
Then show me what you know. I am hungry. Feed us.
God of War had been absent since Ascension came out in 2013.
Wow,
so it's been half a decade-ish, which I guess now, like looking back on it, doesn't even seem like it's that long, but it really did seem like a long time. And after Ascension came out, mostly people were like, God of War is a tired franchise. God of War is dead. Like, what are you going to do? Like, Ascension didn't review very well. And most people were just kind of tired of the formula. So they get Cory Barlog in, and he's on stage. So that's kind of like, what's Cory going to be doing? Get Cory
dunce.
get Cory in, who was I think it was an art director on the first game, and then the director of God of War 2, which is objectively way better than the first game. He's on stage. Bear McCreary is in the orchestra directing some and it's so funny that is so iconic nowadays. Like God of War 2018 became like it made God of War the premier franchise for PlayStation for the next 5 years. But yeah, you hear you go back and like people don't know what that is, which is funny, and you hear somebody go boy in the background and people don't automatically know what that is. So it's funny to see like these now super iconic parts of this game, and people are just like, watching this thing, and then Kratos emerges, and then all hell breaks loose, which is great. Everybody cheers, and then it's revealed that the game is not a fixed camera angle hack and slash. It's a over the shoulder. At the time I was like, is this like The Last of Us? Because it's like over the shoulder.
How's this gonna work?
Right. So then they play what I think is one of the best like gameplay demos that they've ever shown on a stage ever. Like, it just shows all that there is for the game. They show the troll come out. They show the boy. They show Kratos. It gets a little angry. You see he's a little slower now, and just so much promise and so much wonder shown from that trailer.
And it was live gameplay.
Yeah, he's
live.
Yeah,
you don't see that. It's all curated, pre-done things.
No, there's nothing on stage.
Well, yeah,
it's all just videos.
There is no
this
stage.
was real on stage played.
There's a documentary of them making the making of that game, which they talk about like leading up to that and rehearsing it and making sure he does everything right, and look here and look at the guy and look at the thing. There's so many hidden things in the background of that trailer that aren't in the main game, but they allude to stuff going on. Just such an awesome reveal, and I was very excited about that.
Like, that was one of those things where it's something you never think is going to come back.
Yeah.
And then for it to come back in such a different way.
In dramatic fashion.
And like I said, looking at that and being like, looking at the concept of it and being like, how can that even function as what I view Kratos gameplay as the over the, like, I don't know what you would call that camera.
Fixed camera.
Yeah. Looking at it from that perspective of how can they translate that? He doesn't have the blades of chaos.
Yes.
He has this axe. Like, what is any of this? And for that to come out and be probably one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
And actually live up to the hype, unlike everything else we've talked about.
And it's conceptually such a risk as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be honest, like, I was very excited Kratos was back. I was very excited there's a new God of War game coming out. But honestly, I wasn't totally on board, because it was such a foreign concept. Like, he's in snowy land. He's some old guy with a beard now. He used to have a cool goatee. He's got like a little twerpy son, and like, it's not Greek gods anymore. And it's like, he's like more mature, and it's like more mature storytelling. Okay, Cory. And then it's like, 93 on Metacritic. Okay, cool.
Okay, I'll play that.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. Well, obviously I pre-ordered it before then, but yeah, just such an awesome reveal, and that's one of the ones that I like to go back to just to hear crowd reactions when that's coming
one
up.
guy.
Yeah. Well, because God of War is one of those ancient franchises now. I mean, it's 20 years old that a lot of people played when they were kids. So I think of the things we talked about here, it's like, well, I guess besides Fallout technically is one of the oldest franchises that is still going pretty strong today.
With Ragnarok probably being the best in the franchise.
Yeah, I would agree. When I close my eyes and I think of just the best third-person character action combat game I've ever played that I could just play forever, it's that game. And they came out with the Valhalla DLC where you can do exactly that, and it's freaking awesome.
I love really good stories ending on a really tight cliffhanger, and the first one the first one does that so well. You're working with this person to create a relationship to like stop a family member, and you end up killing that family member, and now this person is your enemy, and you need to deal with like Thor shows up. Like it ends on such a high note where Ragnarok, maybe it's because it does end. And it didn't end the way I wanted it to, but it does end, and you're like, okay, well now there's nothing past that. you have nothing to like really look forward to.
Yeah, I didn't love narrative stuff. Is the only thing I didn't love about
Yeah.
Ragnarok, because there were some just easy, cheapy ways that they told the story, in my opinion. But it's just so much fun.
It is fun.
But yeah,
I
the
played it.
story in 2018 is better. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Most of these are sequels to games.
Mm-hmm. It's easier to get hyped about something you already have established.
well,
and
yeah,
know.
of course.
Yeah.
Like it's back is better than, not better than, but usually easier to get excited about than something like, what was that thing? I don't know.
What was that one that they ended on recently where it's like some girl and she's in a spaceship and she's just chilling?
Intergalactic.
Yeah, some game that's not going to come out for 2 years. Why do we
2
keep
years.
releasing
Yeah, that's
stuff where it's
way
like,
farther down. Well, the
It
reason
has to be. It was announced like years ago.
the reason why they showed Naughty Dog's new game is because they're showing that Naughty Dog has a new game, and it's a public opinion thing and a shareholder thing, and it's for people to know, if I'm investing in this PS5, I know that it's going to be able to play that new Naughty Dog game that's coming out.
money.
A lot of things we probably could have mentioned today, but we just wanted to mention a couple. And there's a lot more to talk about. But E3 is such a fun thing that they just don't do anymore. And I've talked to Graham about this on here, where like, yeah, they can just release a video, but like it's so much fun when they have like a thing and a big show. Like it's they don't need it to sell their games, but it made it such a more fun way to show stuff off. Even though some of our stuff here wasn't E3 reveals, I don't think. Yeah, some of our stuff wasn't, but
Most of it was.
I thought that was part of the criteria. I made sure to grab stuff from E3.
well, that's good job. Well, yeah, it's just it's a lost art form that they don't really need to do anymore. So
Yeah.
everything sucks and we're old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sadness and
Okay, thanks for watching.
See you next time.